Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome. I am renaming myself here. I have a name. There she is. Ah, here we are. Thanks for saying yes. Thanks for saying yes to come and spending this intimate time together. We're going VIP. We're going VIP and all in for you and for the amazing work that is living through you at this time. I know that some of you are super clear on what your work is. I know some of you are in periods of reinvention and evolution, right? And this call is devoted to supporting you in having what is this next piece that's here for you right now of clarity, of support, right? Something that helps to unlock even more energy and momentum in the direction of what you are truly called to do that truly turns you on. Yeah. And I invite you to have a piece of paper and a pen ready. Because it's kind of like it's like the Montessori method, right? We when I'm working with someone else, I know there's going to be things popping for you, and you are welcome to ask me anything. I mean, anything. It don't matter because everything is connected to the work that lives within us, right? It could be about strategy, it could be about your messaging, it could be about alignment, it could be about energetics, it could be about stuff that's going on like in some of your relationships in your life that you think is maybe you need to explore, clean it up so that you can have more of an environment of deeply supportive listening in your life, whatever it is. What it's selling, of course, selling, whatever it is. All right. So without further ado, let's waste no more time. Let's get into this. So I would love if you can raise your hand. If you don't know how to raise your hand, you go to React. At least that's what it says on the bottom of my screen, and it says raise hand. And then we will dive in. So a couple of pieces for this. Where's my paper? There it is. So actually, before we do this, all right, before we do this, it's great. People have been raising your hands. It's great. Okay, what we're going to do here is that we're going to take a moment to help get clear. All right, so um, because this is a VIP session with multiple people, my invitation is that you have your question be around 2 minutes. All right, and it's a clear question, right? It's there's something clear within that. And some of you already have that clarity coming into this call, which is great. And some of you maybe like it's more of a feeling sense when you want to ask. And all right, but we're gonna keep it so that we can really get to the heart of it, right? As quickly as possible so I can really get into supporting you. So I want to invite everybody here to close your eyes for a moment. And I invite you to feel into the fullness of your breath inside your heart space. Just feeling your heart begin to feel like it's being saturated with breath. Invite you to feel into the people that you know that you're meant to serve. The sense, the feeling of the work that you know you're here to bring, even if you don't fully have words for it. And in the way that you just intuitively know how to do, send love to these people, send love to this feeling sense of the work that's within you. Send your love to it. And then I want to ask you a question. So the question is, what is the most important question that you can bring to today's hot seat call that you know will support you in getting the next piece that you need to move forward powerfully in creation and service of your work? Feel into that for a moment. And then I invite you to take your pen, write it down. I'm going to give you like 1 minute. Write it down. A full question or just a bullet point. All right. Well, I'm going to welcome our first guest, a woman that I am very excited to have on this call because it has been a minute since we have connected. Priscilla,
Hi, how are you?
welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
good to see you.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. It's so
Like,
good to see you.
likewise. Hi, everyone. Excited to be here.
So what you got? And let me just see, Whitney. Yes, there are two calls. All right, so Priscilla, let's dive in.
So, what came up with the question in terms of when you asked was holding the energetics, the certainty of the value and the vision. I know what the it is, and I'll go into it for just a second. And there's a newness to what I'm stepping into, and that creates a wobble in my field at times. So there's the energetics piece. There's also a messaging piece. I get that that might be for another time potentially. So my work is supporting purpose-driven leaders. It has been mostly women through a spiritual business leadership approach to help them live their purpose fully through a vehicle of business. That's been what I've done for 15 years. And I use the Akashic Records as a very special way to flesh out the full expression of the vision and then break down the roadmap in like minute detail of what needs to happen, thought leadership, the whole thing comes from the soul. And then I support them in the active creation of that through coaching and ongoing work. People come to me for the soul piece, right? And the purpose. They want to do purpose, impact, and legacy work. Okay. I'm stepping into a whole new tier of person that's taken me 15 years to get to do. I had a flash early on of me whispering in the ear as a spiritual guide of maybe a handful of people a year, visionaries that would significantly redefine the future of humanity, and I would be their person guiding them through making that happen. I have a new program called Pinnacle Purpose that is specifically for visionaries, exited founders, high net worth individuals who now feel a yearning and a deep calling in their heart to redefine the future of humanity, make their unique mark, likely in the form of an entirely new business model and way of being that is completely led from the heart and soul. And the program is designed custom 1 to 3 years to support these visionaries to flesh out and clarify the full expression of that vision of impact that would be global in nature, whatever issue they might be interested, child welfare, healthcare, environmental stuff, diapers, I don't know, it doesn't really care. That's not my role to define. And it's been, I'm not intimidated by working with these people. I'm very excited about working with them and the level of impact and the depth of the work. It's an extension of what I've already been doing. I'm not doing something different. I'm just taking it up a notch with who I'm working with. The goal would be my goal right now is to get the first client. It's a 150,000 a year commitment for a minimum of 1 year, because it'll take a minute to define the vision and actually execute that legacy in real time. So my role is a guide toe to toe to really excavate the truth and the fullness, of what they're here to do, add the oracle part to it as well, and execute on the roadmap of how they're going to do this in an entirely different way while having a significant impact in the world and show them what's really possible. So holding the energy of that, since I haven't done it yet with this level of person, can feel wobbly, even though I have experience doing the work. And my approach has been, my mentor has been doing this for 10 years. So I started last year off and on, pretty much doing what he told me. Talk to the people you know, share the vision of impact, and ask them for an introduction to somebody that might either fit the profile of the person you want to work with, or they might know somebody. And it's been really hit or miss, and the past few months has been particularly wonky. And so it's affected my confidence a little bit, because everyone and their mother has, oh, but you haven't done this, and who's going to pay you this? Or, it's just been really all kinds of things thrown at me. Oh, this sounds wonderful, but I don't know anyone, right? And so it's affected my sense of confidence to a small degree. And also, there's been the messaging piece. I would love to define this further, right? In terms of, yes, we're redefining the future of humanity, and we're really going to make a dent in the universe here in terms of what we're doing, and showing people what's really possible when you lead from your heart and you deeply care about humanity, and stop the bullshit of what, we think, oh, we can't do this because, oh, yes, we can. And we're going to show you how. And this is what I feel I was really put here to do. And so it's exciting, but it's
So,
that newness. Yeah.
so it sounds like, first of all, love you're going for this.
Me too.
So such beautiful work, such beautiful work. And love you're making the stretch. So it sounds like the key piece is, and if you can clarify, what is your question for me? Because this is great
Well, it's
context. Just
how did you hold on to your, because I always remember you in the beginning coming out gangbusters with I always felt the confidence, enthusiasm of your energy. You had a clear vision. You also knew how you articulated it very clearly, right? You helped women share, spread the brilliance of their voices. Right? I remember that from early on. And so I still feel like I'm in the articulation process of my stand, my positioning, and all those things, and that's being done shortly. But how did you hold the vision and the confidence of it, in the early phase?
so I feel like the deepest, well, let me ask, where do you get your inner guidance? Like what led you know that you needed to move in this direction?
Well, I work with my guides all the time, right? And so it's
Mhm.
my inner guidance system. And I just felt that viscerally, I'm ready now. It's
You're ready
time.
now. Yeah,
And the
yeah,
consciousness of the collective is ready for it too.
totally, totally. Well, there are a few things. I think that some of the first big things that come up for me that when I think about this are, I mean, from an energetics standpoint, I mean, number one, I think I would want to know more about the environments that you're putting yourself in right now
Hmm.
that are calling forward this next growth of you, because you are in, like, you're expanding the level of resource of the person you're working to, which means probably also somebody has expanded level of capacity and all of these things, right? It's also calling forth an expanded level of you.
Yes.
And so, there are several things, like we can approach these things from different angles, right? One of the big questions I have is where are you going that people like this are gathering?
Right. And that's still been a work in progress, breaking into the right circles. Because it's a whole
Yeah.
new circle of influence.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I think that, I mean, this is just like one of the things that came that I should mention to you. I would encourage you to check out the Genius Network.
Never heard of
Um,
them.
yep, yeah, with Joe, what's his last name? Very, very, very well-known marketer. Brings in people who I think are polished. Thank you. Like fantastic fit for you for this. Based out of Arizona. But people who are like, doing epic work, but who make a ton of money and very into networking and helping each other. That's the whole vibe.
That's the generosity piece that's been missing
The-
so far for me.
yeah. Yes, yes. So we need to get you in some communities of people who are operating from this place of generosity, community, abundance. Let's go change the world. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of there are a lot of places like this, people who are really I'm trying to think, there's another one. If we message separately, I can go and figure it out. My friend Bear Kate has a community. They go on a big boat ride to across the Atlantic, and it's all people who are making incredible amounts of money, a lot of Bitcoin gazillionaires and believing in the future of humanity, and they're looking for someone like you know? So I think that that's like, um, beginning to put some of these seeds together. I think it's great that you came here, you know, to ask some of this and look at getting yourself investing in some of these communities where they are, you know, they're the people that already that are in these conversations who have created this expanded wealth in this. And so those are a couple of suggestions, right? But I think that the other piece that comes up for me to ask about is I will share. Like every time I have noticed, I have a huge expansion and things come in so much more easily into my life of the people I need to meet. There are two major things that happen. Number one, I am so rooted in the why. I'm like an obsessed person. Like I invite you just to get profoundly obsessed. Like let yourself go there. Like if you need to like print t-shirts for yourself about your mission and like staple it on your forehead, like you know, I'm just making this stuff up, but like seriously get like letting yourself just let yourself get obsessed about this. It's what you're going to talk about, and like in that it's going to give you so much more confidence to get out there and speak it because you are in that vibe so deeply in yourself. But I think that one of the big things also is looking at what in your life doesn't fit where you're going anymore. Like down to I will share with you. I have like a couple of clients who I mean it's like okay, Madonna, you know, and her Ray of Light album. I'm not sure who else here loves the Ray of Light album, but I love this album. I've loved it forever. And there's this one song called The Power of Goodbye that and the line goes, there's no greater power than the power of goodbye. And the song really is about the power of creation. And so it's getting an audit in your life right now because you're in a period of major reinvention and to look at a few different areas. What are the relationships you have that have the listening for you in this space and double down on your amount of contact and investment in those relationships? What are the relationships that don't have the powerful listening for you? You can still love those people, but don't give as much energy or time there, right? That's one. Two is like literally to look around at it, like and ask the questions. Who, if I, when the woman, the Priscilla that is literally working with the you know someone who just made a huge exit for $100 million with their company and they are dreaming into it, what is what is Priscilla wearing? What are you eating? What are you how are you taking care of yourself? How are you spending your time? What are you choosing to do to really support your energy in that version of you? Like what practices or movements? Like what are those things including, you know, are there things around in your house that just don't feel part of that vibe? It's kind of like this, you know, like it is a way of working through it, but when we really take an honest assessment of what is no longer supporting us, what is no longer fitting that and instead begin to really step into being that person now, there is such a greater sense it becomes more natural. This like confidence becomes more natural, just something just starts to align and come online. That is a huge piece that I have found over the years that every time I have a major shed, I have a major evolution and it has so much less friction around it. So those are some more of the like energetic things. There's also the strategic things that are very important, right? But how we ease that path, that's a huge piece of it. But I think that for you, like there is this question of how do you deepen into the owning the value of what you're doing and being in that energy even more fully. And I think that that comes from sometimes we can work at it through the beauty of the vision. We've done some of that practice in this work, like we did in call one in this challenge, you know, really making that a morning practice, being with the beauty. That is so huge. But sometimes what's also really catalyzing is to really sit with the question if I don't do this, what happens? What's the impact if I don't do it? Because this really does matter. And sometimes we can center into like, oh, wow, oh, there is impact if I hold back. There is impact if I don't. It can deepen this inner river that inside of us, of the sense that not maybe it's not coming from like the expansive turned on joy, but it comes from a place of like something really deep, which is like responsibility, you know? And that can give this almost like edge of deeper natural confidence and sense of belonging to your own purpose that gives a gravitas, frankly. I mean, I'm all in the joy and all of that, but ultimately, people also want to know this is, you are ride or die. You are ride or die. And that is a really powerful way at helping to arrive at that energy is also understanding the impact of like really feeling the grief and the pain of like if you don't. It's not always what I would have everybody be there come from, but sometimes it really can help support us in that. When I was going through that period, back when you did one of my first programs, um, and it was so awesome to see what happened for you after that. Um, I I really felt like one of the things that really happened for me, I'm gonna cry talking about it, I'll never forget. Like one of the things that really set me free on an energetic level, I'll never forget, is I had this experience where I had so much longing, and so much purpose, but I was still so held back in the shadow of like, what if they don't like it? It just sucks. It's a
Yeah,
horrible space to be in, right?
awful.
But I had this experience of feeling, and this is going to be pretty trippy maybe for some of you, but maybe not. This is probably a pretty trippy group. But I had this feeling of like the goddess that I am in all bodies that I have. Like my eternal spiritual self, my eternal light body. It was like my first times really connecting to it. Like aching with her whole heart to live through my physical body. And it was the compassion that broke me open. The compassion is the freedom. That is the thing, because we don't need to be bright and shiny. We don't need to be all those things. Ultimately, at the end of the day, these people are going to hire you because they feel the depth of your compassion and and right, because compassion and wisdom are opposite sides of the same coin, right? And when you deepen that compassion, that all the knowing, all the information, all the stuff just shows up, right? When it's aligned in our purpose. And that is ultimately the thing, that compassion that gives this really deep, grounded sense of confidence or bravery, because you don't really even need confidence. You just need bravery um, to say the things that need to be said and to have those courageous conversations, and people feel it. And that's the energy plus all of your experience and capability and capacity. But that's the energy of that kind of deep, compassionate commitment that someone on that level is going to hire. And so that's the place that I would almost like take on, is really looking at like what are the environments and the relationships that we need to take an audit. What are the things in your life on all these different levels I mentioned that we need to do an audit and do some shedding and bring in some new energy, that like Priscilla, who is actually doing this work and bringing in the money and doing this engagement with people, is actually like being her now. It's the short circuit to creation, is to be that future self now. And doing it through the physical realm is one of the quickest ways to do that, rather than trying to like, how do I act? It's like, what are the things? What are you wearing? What are you eating? What choices are you making? But then also, I think for you, it's because you're anchored into your vision, as you said. But maybe the deeper thing also is just letting yourself really anchor energetically even more into the compassion, and see about the natural sense of the flow that gives you from that place. And that's all just from a pure energetic standpoint, I know there's so many amazing strategic conversations we could have about how to do this as well, which are all really important, but those are some big pieces. How does that land for you?
Well, it sounds great. And I've been thinking a lot about Kuan Yin,
Mm.
who's about compassion. And I have that in spades because I love humanity so deeply. And I know we can do so much good. And I want to support these people who are designed and meant to do that in their lifetime.
But the other realm of this is like that when those times come up, when you can feel it, oh, I feel uncomfortable, or this is not going the way that I want, and I'm feeling all these things, is like the opportunity to really also bring the fullness of that compassion so deep to those parts of yourselves. And that's really oftentimes the biggest unlock, right? Is that we meet these feelings, even this like, oh, it's so hard when I'm held back. Like it's less, sometimes we take like out the, okay, I'm going to go do a bunch of things about that to resolve that or transform that. It's like, oh my God, how deep can I just stop everything right now and love this part of me so deep? And then it frees things up so naturally from that place. So I know you are one that operates in compassion. I'm sure you have a deep self-compassion practice in your life. But I think around these pieces, that may be a really huge piece to do. When I gave my TEDx, I think I talked told this story pretty recently, actually. So it might be a repeat. But when I gave my TEDx talk, I felt a lot of shame. And there was a part of me that just it brought up so many things, and I think I could have really retracted like very much in my work, but it was the stopping and the just bringing the fullness of my compassion to that part and seeing if I stopped here, how many other women are out there retracted in shame because they're not doing it. Like same thing for some of these people that you're serving, like how many of them are retracted in I don't know. I feel stuck in their own inner story stuff, whatever it may be from the thing, and sending love to that energetically now, I think can also sometimes, I think, level the playing field energetically, you know, and take sort of like it's like when we're making more money, sometimes we can be like, oh my God, I'm making $1 million. Oh my God, oh my God. And it's not like normalized, right? But when it becomes normalized is when it just happens with so much more ease. And that's a lot of nervous system work. But sometimes it's also just sending so much compassion to these parts and to them that can create more of that normalization. So I think it can feel less of a disparity in your energetic field and with them about them coming in, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing what unfolds. You're on a beautiful path.
I'm very excited. I feel deeply grateful that I get to do this and that I'm in a
Oh,
place in my life to do it. It's kind of like, can't wait. Let's see the magic happen in both the impersonal transformation of the human as well as that ripple effect into the world.
beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
doing what you do. Alex, I'm looking forward to seeing all of the expansion that I know is coming and is here.
Thanks, Casey.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Barbara Robinson. Hello, friend.
Hello, darling. I can't believe I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm so happy to see you.
So my question is that the season in my life that I'm in now is caring for my husband with Alzheimer's, and it takes all of my energy. And I am committed in the next phase to doing the one thing that saved my life, which is so boring and not sexy, and I don't know how it fits into your thing, and and it's, but I am deeply I am passionate about having women feel safe when the shit hits the fan in terms of financial security and long-term care insurance. And I'm not
Oh,
talking about the chicken shit stuff. I'm not talking about the you pay a bunch of money and they'll raise your premiums, and maybe you'll need it and maybe you won't. I know that there's a rock solid guaranteed you will benefit, you will never lose your principal. The worst case that happens is you lose the money that Apple would have invested for you if you never use it. And I am so committed to wanting to get that safety because it's the only thing that saved my life. I
Is
was,
it long-term care insurance?
yes, it's a form of it. It's not, it doesn't call it that. It's a different thing. It's a stepped up, accelerated life. It's a whole life policy with accelerated death benefits, but it costs,
Participating whole life insurance.
yes, with,
Yeah, I think I am curious, but does it have like a rider for long-term care?
yes, exactly, exactly. And I mean, I sold books of a book I wrote just to practice selling, just to see if I could get out there and do anything. Because, I mean, here I am, I invested, I don't know, over 5,000 to publish a book, and I'm asking people for $20. And I'm like, oh my God, how can I do this? Well, I have to go from that to having people hand over, not to me, but to this product that I know is a no-brainer. I know it because you never lose a
So
dollar.
I'm with you. Few people know about this.
Exactly.
I do. I have 3.
I have 4.
It is, and I got to tell you, I love that you're on this mission. It is, I talk with so many of my friends about it because once you understand what it really can do, it's like, what the F? How is not? So I am so moved and I have got ideas for you. And
Okay.
and it's just so random that I know about this one thing. And I think I'm only going to talk about a couple pieces here, but then you and I
Uh-huh.
can have like a chat offline another way. I can hook you up with a couple of things, but it's the question, like, what do you want? What do you want with this? What would be your deepest desire with this? What do you want?
Okay. To be perfectly honest, financial safety, safety for myself and safety for the women that I am selling this to. Safety
Okay,
for myself because I am tired of this stock market shit. If it goes tomorrow, I am tired of this
I
um
get it.
this mentality of you have to store all these things, and I could be dead broke or I could be fine. I don't know. I want to create financial safety for myself and safety because I know the difference of this product, what it does, what it did for me. uh, It saved my life. And
I am
and
so okay. So let's talk about this. So what I'm sensing is that do you want to get out there and get more people aware of this product so that they can do it and you have your license and you are earning ongoing commission from selling this product?
yes,
Yeah.
and
Okay, great.
yes, and the piece
That's
that makes it
amazing.
sexy for me is if I'd ever sell, I mean, I have sold this product without ever to every person who will she
Listen to
please
you.
shut up
Okay,
about this?
so I have ideas. I have ideas. I have ideas.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's so interesting to me that you're coming on and talking about this. They literally have been in this like this past February, I started my path to get my license just to do the exact same thing that you're talking about here
No.
as another form of revenue because I keep telling everybody about it. They keep getting it. So it's so interesting. But here is I mean, really I mean, it's going to be so natural for you just hearing your energy here. I mean, I think my recommendation to you is number one, just get your license,
I'm studying. But it's
okay,
so
good.
fucking boring. It's so I do the
Yeah.
wrong answer just to get rid of the question. It is so boring. Like when
Yeah.
you say
So
to me,
yeah, I get it. I get it. It is. You're just going to have to go through it.
all
It's
right,
not
okay,
long.
fine.
It's not long. You can do it and get it.
I
You
stole
can
a
do it.
PhD. I can steal this. Yes.
You can do that. Yeah. You can do it. It's in service. But then really so the piece here is like, you just need to do what you're doing right now. Get in communities of people and tell them your story. And it starts with people you know. All right, literally the most organic it is the thing. I mean, you are right now in the space of like this is the living room conversation that needs to happen when people bring their friends over, kind of thing, right? That
Mhm.
you tell your friends, let them know you've already been telling people. You get yourself hooked up with your license, right? So that all of it can then come through you. And then you ask them, hey, I would really love to, I'm on a mission to reach this. Do you have other people in your life that you feel need to know about this? You know, would you be willing to either connect me with them, or would you be willing to, like, we could host a little gathering one night at your living room, and you start it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Start it organic,
I
you
can't
know,
believe
and
this is happening because, like, like you're my idol, and I thought you'd say, Barbara, that is like so boring and batshit. Like find something
oh,
else.
no, when you and no, no, I get it. And it is life-changing information.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
life-changing information. So, and I think that for time, like, we're all agreed. So everybody here wants to know what it is. We'll have to have another conversation about this, everyone. But here is, but in terms of my coaching to you,
Mhm.
is that you just do the thing you need, just get the license
The
done.
license.
Just get it done, work your way through it. And then just you literally start, like, sometimes we can trap ourselves with making it more complicated than it needs to
Mhm.
be.
Mhm.
And, I started in my work, I didn't have any stage or anything. It was literally just word of mouth, word of mouth, word of mouth. And you can make those asks. People will be operating from their own compassion when they realize and understand this. Like, it's usually only for, like, super, super wealthy individuals that know about this. When they
Mhm.
know that, like, you're making this information available, what it can do for them, and they end up getting this kind of insurance, and then they are like, "Oh, so glad." You're like, "Yeah, I'm so amazing. I am on a mission to help as many people feel this safety." Who else do you know?
Mhm.
And would you be willing to, like, bring a few friends together sometime and I can come and talk to them? Yes, let's do it. You're going to get people who are natural connectors, right? And those are the kind of people that are going to start to appear as you're doing this organically, who are going to gather people for you, that you go and speak, and you just simply, you tell them your story. You tell
Mhm.
them your story. You tell them this. You're like, I never thought in a million years that I'd be telling people about insurance. I'm this person, this person, this person, but I believe in this so much. And I want for you to have this, the deep safety that I've had. And you are speaking right to people's deepest need. And I think you could just make a killing on this.
I know.
Go for it, girlfriend. Go for it. Go for it. But don't let yourself get caught in the complexity of, like, oh, I got to get out on stage. Those things could come, but start where you are. Use your voice where you are with the connections that you have. Invite them to help you create little mini stages for you in their living rooms, and, like, that's how it begins.
I can't wait to get on stage again. But the thing is that my first commitment that takes every ounce of my energy and
Is your
being
husband?
my husband,
Yeah.
and nothing comes before that. So and he will pass. I I can study for the exam, I can get licensed, I can do all those things, but when I have water overflowing in my sink because my attention span is like 2 seconds, I know that I have to preserve my energy.
Yeah. But you can set the foundation now. And I
Exactly.
think that's awesome. Well, I'm so excited for you.
Oh, I'm so excited for I can't believe it. I it's like
Oh,
so
yeah. I'm so happy to hear that you have this in your life. And ladies who's are here, don't worry, we'll clue you in. But I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you. Mm, go for it, Barbara. Awesome. Okay. I know, right? Okay, Whitney Kier, Whitney.
Yay, hi.
Hi.
Oh, good to see you.
Great to see you.
Well, I'm taking a risk today because I felt permission like from the start because I actually feel like I'm in a little bit of a season of contraction. And my brain was like, well, but it's like, okay, both things can be true. I can be in a moment of contraction and I can still work with my work. So I just want to name that off the bat and give myself permission there. And just a little context, I started my coaching business 2021 and never quite got it to the level where I wanted, but everybody I worked with, there was like deeply transformational results and really just high quality experiences. I'm also an intuitive, so that's a very deep part of my work. It's very much like really, really, I'm able to listen and hear the uniqueness of that person, which really, really helps with the deep transformation because it's uniquely true to them. And then I just had a job for the last year because I was like, I just need to take some pressure off. I need some extra support. And I've transitioned out of that 2 weeks ago. And so I'm in this moment of transition. And I don't know yet. Sometimes things aren't meant to be clear. I'm like, I don't want to force clarity if I'm meant to be like in a season of winter. And yet I also, as I turn back to I launched an offer during that time. I had my other job and launched Motherwell, my business. But as I turn back to it, and I noticed this on our first call, like I don't feel, it feels a little flat. And I feel like I want to either take my work deeper, which I can talk about different areas that have lit me up. But like I want it to feel more multidimensional. I can't quite tell if I'm just kind of bored of being on Zoom and I want to like really work with the full self, you know? If I want to like go in a more clinical direction. So in the meantime, yeah, so I would say, and I'm also tired. Like I'm just in this time, in this space of like shedding a lot. And I know that that's like really deeply important for anything to be reinvented and, you know, in full alignment. So that being said, it's like, I know the message needs to be clarified in order to feel like I want to feel really excited about it. And I want to feel like it actually speaks to the depth and the breadth of who I am and what I'm here to do and the results that people experience. And right now, I don't feel like it fully matches that. That makes sense?
It makes so much sense. I would love to
Like,
invite in the chat in this community if anybody has like ever been here, you know, just sort of little like community solidarity. This is so, you know, it can be so common for us to think, you know, and it shifts. But what I'm hearing is, and tell me if this is what
yeah,
is really true. It's like almost like before the clarity on the messaging, it's like it's a question of like, how do you get aligned again? Like,
right.
how do you get aligned again?
And like just wanting to
First,
feel
yeah,
so dialed in,
feel just
so in the
ah,
flow. Yeah.
yes. Okay, first of all, I just want to tell you, I feel you. I have been there, and it's so hard, especially when you're someone who has operated from such a state of inspired action for so long as I know you have.
Right.
So
Like I'm
I,
a deeply alive
yeah,
person. So to not, yeah, it's like, oh, right.
yeah, you're a deeply alive person, and you are in a season. So I really love and appreciate you. You first said you recognize you're in a period of contraction, and it's like the void.
Right.
Right? It's the wisdom of the void. It's the wisdom of the void. So there's a few things I'll share about this that you can run through the filter of what feels true for you. Okay. You mentioned that you're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the number one thing is to bolster your vitality because the alignment comes from there. The alignment comes from the aliveness and 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 when we focus on doing that deep replenishment work. It,
I saw it Qigong too. I was like,
yeah,
velvet
yeah.
flow.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's qigong. There's other things. I mean, I personally have found that to be a absolutely brilliant way to do it and do it quickly, right? Because it's like just you know, for a moment, it's like when we're tired, it really and especially and we're not feeling turned on with our mission, we're not feeling as turned on, you know, in our life, it's a symbol and a signal that we need to replenish the yin element,
Yeah.
which in Chinese medicine really is about the kidneys.
Yeah.
And when we focus on that, it overflows down into the sexual reproductive organs. And then we experience first being in the state of alignment with our life force and that vitality. And then we have intelligence, ideas, inspirations that flow from that place. But right now, if you're really tired, it could be that your system is being wise. They're like, I'm not giving her the excitement because she ain't got the batteries.
Right.
You know, the batteries are low. We got to fill those batteries, and then I'm going to give her, okay, let's go do this. You know,
Right. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm very much co-creating that replenishment process, and
Good.
I can't rush it.
You know, that's the things. I mean, I think that's the there's definitely things I can tell you that have helped me to replenish pretty quickly during seasons when I haven't been, and you'll find, what yours are for you. But I think that that is it's like we can get into a lot of stress and energy spent trying to find the alignment while we're tired instead of taking
Right,
that time and that
right,
energy and just socking it into the places inside of ourselves that need the replenishment, and then we naturally rejuvenate, and actually it can be really fast.
right.
So that is like the number one that is my deepest sense. And the other is this really works for me so powerfully is, where are the places that you go in nature that are just so beloved to you?
Mhm.
Where are those places for you?
The hot springs.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
totally.
I'm here in Colorado and it's just like, yeah, lots of nature, and hot springs is like deep medicine for me.
Mm.
Have you been spending a lot of time there recently?
I haven't. I can carve that out. Up until 2 weeks ago, it was like just a lot of work, work, work. So it's a very fresh, transition. Um, but yeah, I can make that happen.
I love that it makes so much sense to hot springs, right? Because the yin element is water,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's you're craving the waters.
Yeah,
And if I have this feeling that if you go and spend like 3 days
yeah,
at the hot springs and let yourself sleep,
right.
that you are going to have this like
Right,
incredible flowing realization, and you're
right,
going to experience a state of like possibility and alignment and turn on from that place. I just have this sense that's what's going to happen for you. We can't get it like in our house sometimes or behind the computer. I mean, it's just not going to happen. We have to like pick ourselves
totally.
up and literally go on pilgrimage to like plug in. And it doesn't have to be, you have to go like sometimes, I travel far, but you don't have to. Like, it could be like to the hot springs. Thank God there's so many in Colorado.
Right.
But sometimes it is that, and being in that space, like give yourself like a spa like experience at the hot springs and see
Yeah,
what comes through
totally. And I need to go alone. I'm like, I need to go by myself. I think that's
by
key.
yourself,
Yeah.
by yourself. So you really
So,
just hear.
so there's many things in my mission that I'm clear on, many things in my vision I'm clear on, my offers out there, et cetera, et cetera. So when I get replenished, what is the step and like that tweaking that happens, between being like just utterly recommitted again?
So explain again, the question is, what's the step for, just so I really understand.
Well, I mean, once that replenishment happens, because I have such a strong foundation. There's so much that's really clear, but there's just something in me that's like, oh, there's more, there's just more of a container that wants to be held.
Yeah.
Um, do you have like any wisdom to offer there, or is it more like, yeah, just me self-guiding and trusting the process?
Okay, if I understand the question correctly, is it okay? Well, there's two things that come up, and then you got to tell me if I'm not answering the question. Okay. So the first is when you think about your work, it I guess a couple of things are, because there's the message, but sometimes we have to really look at like what's the offer.
Yeah.
And my question is like, do you have a clear sense of what you're like with the offer? Do you feel like you're in a period of reinventing the offer, or do you feel like you're in a period of adjusting and retweaking and realigning the offer, maybe evolving it?
It feels like a deepening and evolving, and more so what
Okay.
feels a little bit of a reinvention or expansion is the how, like the methods that I'm using to
Yeah.
support people that actually feel more rooted in acupressure and organ mapping and like just more nerdy stuff that I get really excited about, that I want to do more than just talk. Like I really want to work with the body more. because I think that's where we
Okay.
store so many of our patterns. And I know I can do that in person, but also there's ways to do it remotely. And so it feels like the how wants to expand into more, yeah, like clinical mastery.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, because you
That makes
mentioned
sense?
something about like maybe I'm tired of Zoom, maybe I'm tired of like there's definitely like I can hear like the theme emerging here of like what feels like a yes is more aliveness in the offer, more
Right. Yeah.
connection, more
Yes.
body, more working with people in the energy.
Yeah. Because the
And
values are very clear. The foundation's very clear.
okay, okay, amazing. So this is a great example of like we don't have to like throw out the window the
Right.
offer, but we got to look at like where am I now? What season of my life am I in now? What is going to really have this be something that gives me energy?
Right.
And that's the
Yes, that's what I
litmus.
want.
That's the litmus. I would love for you to take right out your whole offer, all of the elements of it, including the pieces that you teach, not only how you teach them,
Okay.
and ask yourself, and you have to ask your body, does this give me energy or not? And there's so many ways to do that. Like one of the ways that I sometimes find these answers to get out of my head and really ask my body, and I know you have like your own genius ways, so I'll just share you mine. But, I will literally put options on the floor, write them on paper,
Yeah.
stand on them, and see what
Right.
happens. And if I
Right.
feel contraction or like, it's out because we
Right.
can't afford to do stuff anymore that drains our energy. It's
Right.
just done, right? And then the things that are like, whoo, you feel the opening, right? The
Yeah.
non-contraction, right? The opening, those can stay. And you start to put your current offer through that litmus.
Right.
And then you can add in the parts that you're like, well, I'm really excited about this. And you feel authentic juice in your body and this feeling of opening. When you do that, you don't even need to do that process. But if there's still a question mark about it, put them on the ground, step on it, feel what does this create for me? And if sometimes, those things can be really obvious, sometimes we can just like either if we're running the offer currently or if you think back to when you used to do it, think like, how did I feel after those calls? How did I feel? What was my experience? Was I like, yes, I'm ready to go dance? Or was it like, oh, I need to go eat something, or I got to go drink a glass of wine, or I got
It's
to
so
go.
neutral. It's crazy neutral. It's so easeful for me because like my channel's open, I can
So,
do it, but it's neutral.
okay. Okay. So I think it's more than what we want to opt for is something more than neutral.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
And I think that's what I'm seeing here. It's not necessarily the things that make the contraction, but it's like, oh, okay. And so I think that's the biggest piece that I would say for you to start with. And I would recommend you do it at the hot springs.
Yes, I love this. Okay.
Right? We're gonna go do a I love, I'm gonna do an audit of my offer at the hot springs
Yeah,
after I've had an epic nap. Yeah,
right.
yeah, because then your tuning fork will be very delighted to tell you the truth.
Okay. Thank you. I just needed to like parse all these pieces out.
I'm so excited to see what you come up with.
You too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so happy you're here.
Yay. Thank you for your support and thank you everyone else.
All right. We have Ala. Welcome.
Hi,
Hi. Great to see you.
great to see you.
I love your background. That is
Oh, thank
really
you.
cool. Is that yarn?
It's a macrame tapestry,
Macrame tapestry. It's beautiful.
handmade. Yes,
Oh, special.
yes.
Well, welcome. Happy to have
Thank you.
you. Share with me what you got going on.
Yeah. So since starting your challenge, like I had a breakthrough, like what actually I'm excited about versus what I thought I should be doing, or even like this path that I was on. And I'm like super excited about it. And it's been a part
Yay!
of me that I've been suppressing. Like I've discovered what I want to do is energy healing. I have a modality that I do. Um, and it's just been like always to the side in my life. And I've had this notion that, or this story that I can't make the money I want to make doing that,
Mm.
doing this healing that I want to do. But now I'm at this place, thanks to you, I do thank you, that I'm like, no, but I feel like I have to do this. I don't even have a choice anymore.
Ah,
So my question is like, okay, I got it. Like I have to do this, but how do I make the good money from it? Because for me to like, when I think about like, oh, I'm going to go try to get one-on-one clients, a couple $100 per session, like is not feeling it. I'm not feeling that for myself. It doesn't feel great. So I don't know, like what's my first step now that I found it? But I still want to make good
First of all,
money. I want to make good money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important because what you're doing is so valuable. And
Yeah.
this is the way. So,
And I
first
literally
of
want
all,
to quit my job and have this support be like, this is my dream. Like, I want to quit. I hate my day job. I just want to do this. Like, this is what I'm meant to do in the world.
okay, so you have a job, you have income that is supporting you in this
Yeah.
moment, and we're
Yeah.
going to work towards getting you to a place where you can leave that job
Oh, I'm going to leave a job.
and be doing what totally turns you on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, great. This is so doable. This is so doable, by the way.
How do I do it? Tell me.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, first of all, comes up for you when you think about offering this healing work and charging for it.
Individual people can't pay the prices I want to charge.
Is that true?
That's my story.
So it may not be true.
It may not be true.
Like your story might be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it may not be in reality. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so how do you react when you think that thought that I want to offer my healing work, but individual people can't pay the prices I want to charge?
I start bargaining with myself. To be honest, I'm like, oh, I'll have a sliding scale, or oh, I'll do group sessions, but it'll be like by donation only, like because I really want as many people as possible to like experience this healing and have access to it because it's so life changing. And so I basically in myself begin to bargain with myself about it.
Yeah. So like maybe you just offer it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like the last couple of years, I'm just like, it's my friend. I'll just do it for my friend. And that's it.
Yeah. And what happens inside your body when you think the thought like that individual people couldn't afford to pay what you want to charge for your healing work?
I just feel deflated. Like, oh, I'm never actually going to be able to do this as my like full-time thing. Cause that's and it's like what I'm meant to do. And then I feel kind of ragey as well. Cause I'm like, fuck capitalism. And then, and I just feel tight and deflated. And I'm actually tearing up right now. Cause like, I feel so sad to even think about that. I can't do this.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. Like so angry and sad and tight.
Yeah.
It really closes down the joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to invite you to close your eyes for a minute. What would your life be like if you could not believe the thought that individual people can pay for your prices? What would your life be like if you couldn't even, like the thought comes, but you can't believe it? What would your life be like?
It would feel lighter. Like, I would just feel like my life would flow and I would feel like there's a steady stream of people. This is like what it feels like, a stream, right? Like a steady stream of people that I'm working with and it's easeful and joyful. And I just don't worry about the money piece. There's there's a lightness to it. I almost imagine myself like literally dancing around the house, like with joy, because it'll be so easeful and fun and great.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I feel your joy. Yeah. So, is it possible that individual people could afford your healing work rates?
It's absolutely possible. Yes.
Yeah. How do you know that? Like, what evidence do you have?
I mean, I've paid for it myself. Like,
Yeah.
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 I also don't know if like there's something else I can offer that's maybe not so individual, or maybe an individual add-on, but not like just always counting on just an individual. Or a constant stream
Yeah.
of new individuals to be, like, because
Yeah.
that feels deflating to me as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Like, oh, I have to hustle, I have to get the word out, I have to like do social media. Like, I don't know, like it just feels like that, but that's not what I want to do. I want to do the energy healing work. I don't want to do the social media marketing work.
Well, the question that I have about that,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, and I'm just going to be real frank,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay? It's going to take work. It's going to take doing things that are new and that are uncomfortable. And you can find ways of doing them and aligning in ways that like bring out your creativity and what feels great for you, right? But one of the things that I will say when you ask the question, and thank you for going in that process, it's beautiful to feel your heart and appreciate it. Um, you ask the question, how do you get started? Right? The easiest way. And I said, do you want to hear the easiest way?
I do.
Okay. You should tell people your story. You tell people your story of how this healing work came into your life
Mhm.
and how it changed your life and how it's opened up a river of extraordinary joy inside of you to
Mm.
bring this beautiful healing work to as many people as possible. And then you say, if you're in a moment or a season where you are feeling X or Y and you want to create the healing to move through that, I'm here to support you.
Mm.
And that is one of the easiest ways. That's one of the gifts actually of social media, right? Is doing that, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't even have to start with that. It can literally start with getting an email list of just your friends and your family. And that's where you start. And
Mhm.
you just say, hey, everybody, I have some news. I have some news. And I want to share a little bit about my story with you and what's happening in my life right now.
Mm.
And you tell them the story and you just be so real and you just let go of, needing to make something happen and just be so real and in your heart and in your joy about what you see as possible for them with this healing work. And then you ask, if this is a season where this would be of support for you, the sense that this could help, I would love to chat with you about it. Right.
Mm.
So that is one of the easiest ways. The other way that can be really, really great, I'll tell you some of the ways that, have helped me and like some of people that I work with who are just starting, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they've been in business a long time, but they're starting a whole new venture. Sometimes what we do is we look at bringing in beta clients. So that could be that you do, you send an email to several of your people in your life. Like, I'm looking to have like 2 new private clients or 3 new private clients that I will work with for free and have you
Mhm.
experience this. And my ask is if you really got value out of it and you notice a shift, that you would film a short testimonial for me on your phone and that you would recommend me to 2 people in your life that you
Mhm.
think could result this. That is one of the quickest ways to start it and build it.
Mhm.
Period. Period. You start with people you know. You don't have to get on social media yet, any of that. And that is
Yeah.
how we build a powerful private client work. You can also do that when you're ready to do your small group program,
Mhm.
right? I have a client who is launching a program and she'd never done it. And there was an edge for her of like, how do I get all the paid people? And we decided, you know what? The first one is a beta. We take the pressure off. We get a small group of people, and those are the agreements. They have to give testimonials. They give 2 referrals after if they think it's great. That is what built my business at the beginning,
Mhm.
right? So that would be my suggestion for private or for group.
Mhm.
That's how you begin it.
Okay.
And that one of the biggest things, we want to get those testimonials in, right? And we want to get
Yes.
those referrals. And that's how we build it out, very organically, and things can grow and scale very quickly doing that. So those are my 2 recommendations on how to start it. Where you don't have to
Mhm.
get on social media, you don't have to do that. You lean into people that you know. It does take vulnerability, but you can totally do it. We feel your heart,
Yeah.
everyone here, I am sure, and your joy, right?
Yeah.
And that is what matters most. And there are so many people here I know on this call who have built incredible businesses just from scratch too, in the healing work realm.
Yeah.
So you can do this.
Okay. Thank you. I
Yeah.
just want it to be easy. I don't want it to feel hard. Like the whole thing. I just want it to be easy.
It can be easy
And
and
that's
it
my
will take work.
intention.
As
No,
long
I
as you're
mean
willing to put in the work, you just
the
want it to
work's not
be
a
in that
problem.
river of
Yeah.
ease and joy. Just set that intention, put in the aligned effort, and you got it, because you're anchored in your joy. It's so
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited
you
for you.
can you just say one more time, like, that it can scale pretty quickly? I just need to hear it one more time. Like this can actually grow pretty quickly.
This organically can. It can. Yep, it can.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay focused, committed in doing those things,
Yeah.
testimonials and outreach, and keep, just finding ways to educate yourself too on how do people grow businesses and things that feel aligned, and keep yourself educated on those
Okay.
things. That will help the ease a lot.
Okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got this. You can totally do it. All right. Marion,
Hi.
hello.
Woo!
Welcome.
I want to show this is my hot springs. I'm living in it.
Oh, how amazing.
I'm totally
Beautiful.
about nourishment, right? There's a whole story, but I almost doubled my rent and um I still haven't gotten a housemate. I've been here more than a year. I'm borrowing out of my piggy bank and the wisdom channel keeps telling me keep doing it.
Amazing.
Um,
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad you're here. What
so-
question do you have?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're muted, Marion. We can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh, I was just gonna, and I could leverage the place for a VIP retreat and, anyway. So I have a very, very pragmatic question and a comment about energetic and a strategic question. The super pragmatic is I would love to find a woman in this community to be my commitment buddy. Like we text each other once a day. So how do I reach out for that?
In the challenge? During the challenge?
And beyond, maybe if I'm going to end up in the
Well,
master.
maybe somebody here is looking for a commitment buddy, and you can
Or how do
put
I
it in the message.
how
Look,
I
you got one right there.
do the WhatsApp thing to reach
They're here. You got people in the comments already. Why don't you give her your email address or your phone number, and y'all hook up?
and how do I do WhatsApp?
I'm not going to get into a technical thing on this call, but when you mean WhatsApp, like how do you get onto WhatsApp?
There's a WhatsApp for this community, yes?
Not for the VIP,
Okay.
but for the challenge there is. Are you in the challenge WhatsApp?
Yes. Well, no,
Okay.
I haven't. I've emailed support and so on, and I either I've missed something and I just want to reach out to the people who are in this.
Well, the
I
WhatsApp
haven't been on
channel.
the WhatsApp yet.
Okay, so the WhatsApp channel is what's called an announcement channel. It's not your typical WhatsApp channel. I am able to send announcements to all the participants, but participants don't send messages back and forth.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I would suggest looking at the couple of people who just posted here and get their contact information and reach out, because this is clearly a group of women who are really involved in the challenge. These would be the best matches, probably.
All right.
Awesome.
And then energetic, I'm just to soak it in, replenishing um and upping the ante on, like I put off, like if on the left column in my notes, it's like put off and play small, like up the ante on what is the highest use of Marianne? What is the and the highest level of client and all of that. Like, so just, ooh, like filling up with that oomph. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then how that flows into the strategic is I'm about to knock on doors of what I call grads and pals. I've been doing this for more than 28 years.
What is the word?
Oh, grads and pals. So grad clients and pals.
Oh,
Graduates.
graduates okay, cool.
And I've done just a couple of them. They've gone well, but I haven't knocked on more doors. And a part of me would say, oh my God, that's a problem. You're in resistance and procrastinating. And this other part goes, nope, you're like the pole vaulter backing up intelligently so that when you do go for this jump in the high bar, you're going to do it super well. So I think
Mhm.
that's true. And I think my question for you today is, and I can give you a little more information. Like, I'm hearing you say things like tell your story, get in front of communities, ask people to invite them into their living room. And these days it might be Zoom instead of a physical living room. Yeah.
It could be both, yeah.
So my plan so far and drafts of emails and so on is to invite them to tea with Marian, which would be a Zoom call for maybe
Okay.
30 minutes. And the acronym for T came as True Essence Activated. And it's T, let's say with a grad. So it's, how are you? How are you doing these days? Is there any way I might support you? And the big ask is, would you nominate somebody for this new 3.0 Mastery of Leadership Arts school, which could be a private client or a year-long cohort of 12 people. And
Okay.
they can nominate themselves or other people.
Okay. I have thoughts about this.
Can I ask
This is
one more
great.
thing?
Yes, is it connected to this?
Yes, totally.
Okay, good. Yeah, uh-huh.
So a couple of mornings ago, I was like, ooh, I should or could do a challenge, like a very specific for the month of January, change your morning fuel ritual, and I'll teach you how to do it. And so the ask would be forward this invitation to the challenge instead of, would you nominate somebody to have a private comp call with Marian? And that feels easier, but I don't know if that's playing small or, does that make sense? It would be a more specific, tangible offer than, I don't know, I guess some part of me is like, is it too vague or too high ticket? Because the 12 person thing might be like 18,888, a private
Yeah,
client is usually
can I
20.
just ask a clarifying question about that part so I can
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So tell me about just like super quick, what is the offer super quick? What's the offer? What is the benefit or what does it make possible for people super quick? And then like and is this that you're taking 12 people into it?
Yeah. So 12
Okay.
people in a year-long program,
Okay.
18,888 for the year.
Okay.
Like let's say 3 group calls and 1 private call a month with Marian. And it's the MLA stands for Mastery of Leadership Arts. And it's all about a huge freaking shift out of their seeker achiever trying into this new 3.0 way of living, loving, leading. Their business leaders,
Mm.
their business leaders.
Mhm.
Inner alchemy, outer abundance. I could say more, but that's the headline.
Okay. Amazing. All right.
Transformational, oh my God. A little bit like the first person saying her calling about visionary change agents for the humanity. It's in that, it's totally in that.
Okay. Okay. So
18,
this is
888 or 25 grand instead of 150.
all right. So it sounds to me like, first of all, this is so exciting, and I love the whole like 3.0 way of living, loving, and leading. Transitioning out of like the old way of doing things that leaves you bleh, and into this new expansive way. Like I love the languaging around it is it drives curiosity. And that's what I love about it. Um, and it sounds to me, tell me if this is right. It sounds to me like the big objective here, the end goal is to get these 13 people or 12 people in the container.
12 people in a year-long program and a few private clients would be lovely.
Okay. All right. So that's the thing we're going for. That's what we're going for. All right. So what's going to be the most ease-filled, quick way to get there? All right. So I hear you have a couple of ideas. Challenge is really great. I think that I'm loving doing this. It's also great at building your community, your following, passionate people around it. There's a lot of benefits that can pay off on that as well. But I think that's a great possibility to look at. But I think that before you do that, my biggest recommendation would be, there's a few ideas that I have. All right. So one is for you to start looking at and reverse it. Who are people that are out there that maybe have been in your work in the past? Maybe they have come and done something with you, either paid or not. People that you know who are colleagues, people in your sphere that you want in the program. Like, I want to reverse this and let's see what can happen if we reverse the whole thing and be like, I want to fill this with people that I choose.
As opposed to asking them to nominate somebody, including themselves.
Yeah. So that's the first, like, I'm going to tell you a couple different like strategies that we can play with, and you can see what feels best for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one is we flip the whole thing. And instead of it being like, I got to find people who want this and fill it, be like, no, this is my container. It is valuable. I'm going to choose who I'm working with.
Yeah. I've
My
done that
first,
before, like on a blank piece of paper, like, ooh, who would I fucking love to
who
have
are my dream
in
people?
this
That's right.
Jedi Council 3.0 new thing?
Yeah, exactly. And then you draft, there's a few different ways to do this. What I have done, I mean, honestly, like I didn't have any big event or anything like this going on in September. I made $97,000 doing what I'm about to tell you. All right. I literally was feeling into who were some of the first people that I want in my big event in Sedona in May. Like, I made the decision I'm going to do this. And I was like, all right, and who were some of my dream people that I want to speak on that stage? And I reached out to them and I chose to send a voice memo because that is when you get in my WhatsApp group, you'll see I leave like biblical voice memos. All right. So this is like, I love communicating with the voice. And that's one of the ways people can feel me and feel so much more than I just send them an email. Right. And I sent them to these people and they were like warm invitations. Like, hey, listen, I want to tell you, I mean, here's kind of the gist. And this is like a little bit of the bird's eye view of it, but it's, hey, listen, like, I want to tell you, I have essentially am creating a huge reinvention in my work with a program, and I am thinking about the number one people that I want to support in having X, whose work I admire so deeply, believe in so much, and want to support them in having this technology, these shifts in order to have so much more expansion because I believe so much. And I got to tell you, you're one of the first people I thought of. So I don't know if this is on your radar in your life right now. But if this is something that you are wanting, I want to let you know that I would love to talk with you about supporting you and having that. Let me know.
And PS,
Send.
if it's not zing, 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 zing for you, it could still be the second could be, let's have tea anyway, and there might be other people for you to nominate.
Totally. So this is where I would first start, is like doing this one where you switch the whole thing and you look at, who do I want in this first? Do those heartfelt, authentic reach outs, very clear, don't overtalk it, really what would make possible for them, and then you have what comes back with those. And that might get you all the way there. It might get you halfway there, but that's really great. Right. And then what you can do from there is for some of those people who didn't, be like, great, hey, would you be open? I would love to still like connect. I'd be open to, and this was the thing that I was going to mention. This strategy is something that really helped one of my clients fill her first program. in a whole new body of work, something she had never done in a group capacity before. And there was a lot of like, how do I do this? And so one of the things that we did was we had her have calls where actually say, hey, listen, I am forming this new program and I would actually love to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, that's how I usually start, which is similar to these tea conversations. How are you? Here's what I'm up to. Would love your input. How
Right.
it's
And then
landed here,
sometimes they're like,
and
and then you can
what do you
ask,
want
like,
to make?
would this be something that would be a fit for you? And someone's like, heck yeah, this is what I need,
Right.
and you got a sale right there. Or it's not the moment for them, but they know like 3 other people. So a great example of this was I got a call like this. I've done that myself. And I remember, if you don't know who Selena Sue is, she does amazing work. She just came out with a book called Rich Relationships, which was #1 on the Wall Street Journal book list. And she's just killing it. She's amazing. She's been around in the business, internet marketing business world a long time. And she's a really wonderful woman. And when she started her new Rich Relationships membership, she called me. It's like $10,000 a year. And she said, hey, I'm starting this new program. And we booked an hour. So there was no rush. So I could really give her meaningful feedback. That would be one thing you might consider. 30 minutes is pretty rushed. So if you really want to get people's meaningful feedback and have a developing conversation, not just a let's catch up, so you might want to consider 45 minutes. But that, we had that, and I was sold by the end.
So those are, so your second suggestion is where I was headed, was that their input. The first suggestion is very different. It's like selling them the group or inviting them to be in the first curated group.
The first one is you curate it
Yeah.
and you just be direct.
So do you have a,
Yeah, so what I'm saying is you do the one that I recommended first,
okay,
and then after that, you go into bringing those people on who said no, still coming in to have this conversation, other people,
so go
inviting
for the
them.
gold of filling the group with a curated, I thought of you first.
Yeah, yeah. We can do, I mean, there's events, there's important things about building your community and your lists that are important for us to focus on. There's things like that. But I think that if the goal right now is how quick can we fill this program, I can tell you that is one of the fastest ways. People will oftentimes distract themselves with, oh, I got to go out and do a bunch of social media marketing and, go do a whole bunch of big events because they're too
I tried to
scared.
do this like a year and a half-ish ago with the marketing advice and the funnel and the email and the webinar and it didn't work and I just stopped everything.
I think this might be something for you to try because it's going to really harness your
It's way more,
natural
and it's
gifts.
closer to what I was like, I'm just gonna do the old fashioned individual,
Yeah,
dear
yeah,
Tracy, I would love to talk with you. How have you been? And I'm pouring my whole heart in this and all that.
yeah. That would be the first thing that I would say. Go for that and lean in fully to really spending time before you reach out to people to really seeing what they're up to. Spending the time to really check them out, see what
Yeah.
they're doing, so that you can really have that communication come from a really honest place of like, because the more they feel that authentically, like you really want them in it and you're really paying attention to who they are and what they're doing, that's going to land like
Yeah.
in a whole other
Good at that.
class.
I did that with
Yeah.
the only nominee that I got because I've only done like one of these asks. So a grad client nominated some guy and I looked up a video and watched it and told him all of that before we ever talked. So by the time we were
Awesome.
on Zoom, he knew that I was, doing all of my research about him. And I
That's so
sent
great.
questions in advance and all of that. So,
And that's what people want to be working with, Yeah, someone who's really invested.
okay.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for you. I think you can go get this and fill this in 2 weeks. I think you could. Why not? Just make it a devotional
Yeah, I mean, if
practice.
I just full disclosure, we could say there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, I know this is the medicine and and it's worth way more than $18,000 or whatever. And right, there's other parts in there that are like the inner, like, oh, they're gonna be busy and I hate knocking on doors and all that. But I just got to get over here.
You sink into the commitment. You sink into the devotion, you sink into what you see as possible for them, and you just kind of say, fuck it to the rest of the stuff. Because that conversation might always be being there. It's okay. You can, just because it's there, it doesn't mean it's gonna have to have any bearing. You can lean in instead in the energy of like your vision, what you want for them, what you genuinely see as possible, your excitement about this group,
It's
about
getting,
3.0.
it's getting stronger and stronger. My queen sovereignty from the inside out is getting stronger and stronger, in part because of living here.
And doing this is only going to make it stronger. It's almost like do this so that
Yeah,
queen sovereignty deepens. That actually is the deeper devotion of why
yeah,
you're doing it.
action will be, that'll be a
That's right.
example of my
It's going
inner
to evolve you, and you
abundance,
do
right?
it actually for that.
The more I fill up with the inner alchemy and actually knock on the doors and have these conversations coming from that generosity, it's just gonna
Yes,
be filling inner
it
outer.
is. It is, and it's gonna transform you. It's gonna evolve you, deepen you.
Okay,
And you do it when you make that the reason, actually the deeper reason why you do it. Then it becomes a whole other game.
yeah, that's an easier yes, isn't it?
It really is. It
Okay.
is, and it's an easier come from to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because
All
it's
right.
not based on what's happening with them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, Miriam. I'm so excited for you. All right. Susie.
Hello.
Hi, Susie. I know you're
Hi.
in Australia. Welcome.
I am. Yes. Thank you. It's well, it was 6:36 in the morning that this started. So your other ones have been like 2 to 4 a.m., which has been, I've been watching the replays mostly. But yeah, even today has been so invaluable. Thank you to everyone
Oh,
who's
I'm so happy you're
opened up
here.
and
I'm
sharing
glad you
as
made
well.
it.
Yeah, love it. I have this juxtaposition where I have like two different parts of myself. One is hidden and one is my, well, the hidden one is me as a writer, and then that's my 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. kind of self-development. But I've been doing that for 30 years. So part of me, after all of this time, kind of, look back at my journals and think, is it time to do something with that? But because it's always like a hidden kind of, it started out with morning pages, so it's very raw and very honest, and not necessarily what I want to share per se from my journals, but also I could just take them and, publish them out into blogs or whatever. But it's kind of like an excess to-do list job that just never takes priority, because I would rather write than do all the work behind this, the other stuff to get it out there. And I'm not a very
You would rather write.
I would rather be doing the writing rather than, taking the writing and putting the writing out there and setting up,
Okay.
I'm not good on social media. I have Instagram and my posts are rare. I do stories, but that is more for my business stuff anyway.
Okay.
And the other part of me is a healer by day, doing body work for around 15 years, specializing in pregnancy and postnatal. And I moved from the city out to where I grew up, to a rural area, and the market is much smaller. So this is 5 years ago. It's my 5th year here. So I kind of threw my doors open and did anyone and everyone, massage wise, and didn't really pursue the birth. But then word of mouth is how I worked in Brisbane as well. Has kind of started gathering a bit of momentum. But so last year so the but is I wanted to move out of just body work, whether I do pregnancy or whether I do anyone. I can't sustain myself. And, it's more just my hands and the energy
It's
it
the
takes.
physical and the energy.
Yeah, it's 15
Yeah.
years of like, giving
Yeah.
through my
Okay.
hands. And I feel like I have all of this stuff in my head, which I've gathered over the course of 15 years working with women in birth, that I have been literally color coding and filing information and resources. And I have one-on-one consults that are generally have been free, actually, like in that first, information gathering session before I do the body work, because I wasn't a qualified counsellor and things. So I was just kind of giving tips on birth and how to, you know, basically being really passionate about how to help with natural birth after seeing so much birth trauma come back to me over those years. So then I went and trained last year. So the but is that I kind of digressed into or kind of expanded into doing trauma-informed therapy and also birth educator training, so that I could actually, you know, present someone else's course, including my own work, but have a structure that I can use someone else's you know, course to, and obviously just get the qualification. So that's
So-
done, and then a few other things as well. But
Yeah, tell me, what is like the piece that you're really, and this is so great to know the context where you've been, what's not working anymore. It's time for things to shift. And you have so much knowledge and experience to pass on.
yeah,
What is it that you're really
what's
desiring?
not working is that I feel really flat about doing the birth ed. Like
You
I've
feel
done
flat
all of this.
about it.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm done, but I don't want to be, because it's all like I still have so much to give, but I can't launch. I just keep accumulating more knowledge and not feeling good enough to, you know, because I'm not a midwife or I'm not a obstetrician or I'm not a, you know, I'm not that, and I don't want to, not that I want to be, but I just have a, you know, a perception that I don't know enough, even though it's ridiculous how much I know. But I'm talking in group, you know, doing groups is terrifying to me. And I also just, I don't know if that's why I feel flat or whether it's this calling to like just bring my writing in. And I guess that was my question, is because I feel like the writer in me is something that it's just yearning to be heard, but I don't have the time as well. I know that sounds like an excuse, but I'm sole parenting as well. So yeah, Kira's story just fucking blew me open the other night. I was in the kitchen watching the replay with a sink full of dishes, and I was like listening and watching, but still doing. And then I just stopped and watched her, and I just, you know, got really just overwhelmed by how honest and her journey and how much that resonates with that, you know, wanting to kind of just press pause and launch into something else, but I don't want to leave behind what I've done either, completely. So I'm kind of, I guess my question is how the fuck do you do it all? I don't know how people do it. I look at you and just think, how do you manage it all? I could just, you know, have these visions that are incredible and dreams, but I just never, I never get it there. I never get it to a point of launching or completion. It's just like I'm living in a deep freeze.
Yeah. I hear you.
So I don't
So
really know
much
what my
so.
question is.
You're-
It's just that I just don't
you-
feel like passionate about the birth, and I don't know if it's from fear of not getting it going, and I just need that help to package it and start, or whether I just need to say I'm done and just throw it and have a beautiful bonfire and just be done with it. But you know, just, how do you sustain yourself as a writer anyway? I don't even know how to do that.
I so hear you. I feel, and you're a single mom?
Yeah.
How old is
Just
your
one
kid or
child, but
kids?
15. Just one.
15. I mean, high school. It's big.
Yeah,
Really big. It's really big. Okay, so
it's freeing me up too, though. He's independent, and yeah, it's amazing.
okay, so first of all, let's just take a breath together.
Yeah. Thanks.
I feel like I just feel so much feeling about, first of all, how much you want to write. Like, I really feel how alive that is for you and how essential that is for you. Like, with everything that you're doing, that very clearly when I hear you speak, because we can talk about how to take your methodology, codify it, put it in a system, train other people. Like I've done it. We can strategize how to do that, right?
Yeah.
We can strategize how to do it, look at different ways of doing it, you know. But from everything that you're saying and what I felt in your heart and the longing in your heart to write, is it that opening up that in your life is what's going to give you the clarity and the energy for everything else you're wanting to create. It's not something we do when the other stuff gets figured out. And so that when that is when there's not a river for that open, it affects everything. It affects everything. And there is like no energy for other things because the valve is literally not open. So my intuitive sense is that when we look at here what we can do to open this valve for your writing, that you may actually experience a genuine, after a little bit of time, I don't know, it could be quick, could be a month, something, I don't know, a genuine like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great to do a training with my work? Oh yeah, like you'll have more energy for that. But it makes sense that you're not feeling inspired and that it feels heavy and draining and scary and all the things because this valve around the flow of your life force and your creativity, it's like that's the number one priority. And so many things become possible for there. So so this piece, like, what are you wanting to write about?
Well, it is just my own personal journey of coming from a very sick place, losing an organ and then, recovering. Started out with poetry when I was kind of younger, but then moved into just my misery initially. And, a couple of dark books there. And then just how I heal myself through different, movement and qigong and things like that, and Chinese medicine. It was a kidney that I lost, which is related to fear. I'm sure you know this now that you're doing qigong. And it's kind of moved on to just my journey as in parenting and literally just write about my own fears. I mean, if I were to write it for the public in a blog sense, I could still pull in my own journey to put it towards a parenting kind of or a whatever, to my target market is what I'm saying, and that's something that means a lot to me. My database is pretty big, and I don't know, I just have a real connection to those I've already worked with, and they keep coming back pregnancy after pregnancy and things like that. So that would be part of it. Is like I want to email them and go, I'm done, and then part of me just wants to go, hey, like, will you help me launch something new, or follow my Substack, or but I just never get it going. I just never get that email done, or I just keep doing all my little plugging away at all the back end.
Yeah, you've got a community of people who've been literally touched by you.
I do have a beautiful community.
And they would, I am sure your community would love to know what they could do to help you fulfill what is a next dream for you. And I think you having a place to write, Joan said here, Substack, I think that is a great idea, is start a Substack account and let it be a place where you write about whatever the F you want. Like that is the only rule. You write about whatever feels good. No strategy. I should write about this. Do it. If some of those things can come in if they feel good, but you only write about what turns you on, what gives you a sense of aliveness. And let your community know, hey, listen, I have some big news and I need to ask for your support to help me fulfill this dream. People love helping people fulfill dreams. People love it. And ask for their support And then the practice becomes a dedication to opening this channel and creating the boundary in your life for it. And that's going to maybe be the part that I hear that feels like there's the most mental friction about that. I don't have time. There's not space. There's not that. You do. You can create it. You can create boundaries around other things. There are other things that you can say no to make space for this. I mean, you know, and it doesn't have to be 2 hours a day. You know, it can literally be on the other side of whatever your morning practice is. You give yourself 20 minutes every day to write. And that is going to open up such a flood of energy for you in your life. Oh, clarity, aliveness. But I really sense that until you honor this piece of the writer in you, who is longing to have her to have the love and the attention and the space to come through and to express, it's the key to unlocking all the other things. And as it comes to, you know, like, you know, I'm happy to talk about like how do you do it all, like those questions. So happy to talk about that. I'm happy to talk about, you know, the strategy, about the you know, what do you do with this incredible body of work that you've developed? That's a deeper conversation, but you totally can do that. But I think that the deeper thing right now is reconnecting you to your creative flow and what really is your deep yes. And right now it's very clear it's the writer. And that when you do that, it's going to it could open things very quickly in other realms. Yeah. What is your how's that landing for you?
Yeah, I actually just feel like relief or something. It's just, it's just kind of landing through my breath of like just sighing and feeling like, you know, isn't it interesting? Kira said it the other night, you know, that you need permission. It's like, I was thinking about that after. It's like, why do we need permission from someone else to tell us what to do? But it's just that sense of like, you just kind of keep going on the snowball effect without like just pulling back and really having that heartfelt connection with someone who, I don't know, who can see you from when you're bogged down in it. Kind of, I've just been,
Totally.
you know,
I think
the birth
this
ed stuff is so big. It's all consuming. It takes me, like, I work so much in that to try and get it going for years, you know, but it's just,
yeah.
it's just that yearning for me too, that I don't get me time.
This is the piece. This is the piece. You know, we just know it's just not going to work if you don't have that. And I think that's why, you know, people who do continue to evolve their work, their success and expand, they know they have to have mentorship and community around them. It's just what expedites it. It's what brings in more ease. It brings in more flow because we got to have that reflection outside of us that's in service to our greatness, that's listening for our greatness. And so I think it's really amazing that you came here to have this conversation, because I think everybody here, you know, as soon as you were sharing, I feel like the whole room could like feel and see like the writer. This is the place, you know, it's the unlock. That's your unlock.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's your unlock. And I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's quite amazing having this conversation, because I've been following you for years, and I did your training through someone that you trained in Australia in person every week for a number of weeks.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was so good. And then, you know, followed you, and I did a course with you, like a 6-week, I can't remember what the focus was. It was all about I believe, you know, and then all the conversations that come from that about what your purpose is. And I just pulled that out this morning actually before I started. It was like, I believe I can help birthing women, you know, avoid trauma, and I can help birthing women, you know. It was just all about educating them because I was just so far away from that at that point. That was, years ago.
Oh,
Yeah. Even though I
well, you've
store all the
come
information, I'm still always
come
just
a
doing
long way.
one-on-one. So, yeah, I've been,
Yeah.
I feel inspired to, be in
Well,
your
thank you for coming
space.
on
Thank you.
here and opening your heart with us. I don't know if you, I mean, I hope you can feel it. You got a room full of cheerleaders right here who are just so psyched to read your writing. So,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, keep leaning into that. That's the unlock for you. So excited to see what unfolds for you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Susie.
Thank you.
Hey.
Um,
So we have a beautiful person here named iPad. It's our mystery guest.
It's a new iPad. I apologize. I haven't put my name in yet.
Oh, that's okay. Tell us, what is your name?
Corinne.
Oh, you're Corinne. Hi,
Yes.
Corinne.
Hi,
Are
nice
you
to
in
see you.
Australia also?
I am.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I'm so happy you're here. I know your name, and so I'm just so happy you're here.
Likewise, and I'm really enjoying this conversation and
Good.
the deep sweetness in all of this beautiful community. It's really moving. I really appreciate
Mm.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, listen,
Oh,
I want to let you know we don't have to have a hard stop at 2 at 3 my time here, which is in 4 minutes. I'm going to go a little
yeah,
bit over. I probably need to complete for everybody so you know by latest
absolutely.
3:20 my time.
No
So
problem.
let's share, and anybody who didn't get to next time, everybody, who didn't get to share gets to have preference in sharing. And so let's dive in. Tell me what's happening
Okay.
with you.
Okay, so I'm about to launch an online course for women in January, and it's to discover your voice. So I believe singing is your birthright, and I believe that people singing can be their own healers. If people are singing, it's the medicine that we all need. But part of my reason for doing that is I've been a team building facilitator since 2007. So I've done a lot of trainings for people all around the world, and the common thread in all of those trainings has been that people have been told they can't sing. So I want to dispel the myth that singing is just for the gifted, and invite people to have more serendipity in their life through singing. And I'm focusing my work on women. I have a question around this because I do a lot of work with children too, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love the work with women. But I felt launching the course for women first was a really great way of inviting the decision makers in the family to have their children, build that trust with them, which I find quite easy to do because I just absolutely love humanity. And I really want to see women's voices, raised in their vibration so that they can occupy the true cathedral of their hearts and really, help that energy shift that needs to happen in our world to heal what's going on here. And then with the children piece, I've had a great opportunity where I led a choir of children from around the world at COP28 in Dubai, and it was a massive dream come true for me to unite children's voices around the world. But one of the pieces that
Incredible.
happened there was I was working with a group of people who we weren't really aligned in our intentions. So I really it was great that I put the dream out and it happened, but it really made me have to go even deeper and realign with what that dream really is, because I feel that part of the healing of our world is to actually listen to the wisdom of children's voices. And children are these beautiful, humans that are tainted with a long story. They've got these beautiful, loving hearts, and they really get it. And so part of the energy that I want to bring is the Universal Youth Choir for Connection and Compassion. And I want that to be a multilingual choir. And it will be a multilingual choir, but every song will start with an Indigenous language, because I feel the frequency of Indigenous languages is part of the deeper healing of our earth, because those languages have been known for such a long time. And this is part of what I wanted to bring to the COP event, but I got shut down. No one sort of felt the same, which is completely, you know,
Your work
that's
is
okay.
just so beautiful. I'm just so
Oh,
moved.
oh,
It's just
thank you.
gorgeous. I mean, really beautiful. Yeah, I mean, so I would love to know, like, because I want to honor and be
Yeah,
able to provide time
sure.
for you. How can I support you? What is the question? I'm so touched for this context as well. It helps so much. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Casey. I really appreciate it. And actually, you and I met at the Wisdom Women's Conference a long way back in Esselen. It
Oh
was a
my
while ago
gosh, that
now.
Michelle Stransky put on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
I,
gosh.
yeah. So my question is, okay, what I would, I, mm, I have been challenged in the area of keeping my database healthy, and I'm very I feel like there's a deep medicine in this work with women that I'm launching on January 22nd. And I probably like to feel into what is, I'm not so much into, I mean, I know strategies, can be very helpful and structure is really great, but I really am wanting to find the deeper pathway to connecting cross-culturally. That is a big part of the energy of my work. Is I've worked in many different cultures, and honoring culture is part of it. Yeah, I don't really know what the question is. I'm sounding, as I'm listening to myself, it's sounding confusing, but I want 1,000 people, a minimum of 1,000 people to join that course by January 22nd. And I start my advertising for that at the end of this month.
Okay, great. How
Yeah.
are you advertising?
So I'm doing social media posts, but I'm also doing an email out to all the companies that I've worked with previously, like Nike and Unilever and all these companies that I've done team building for. And everyone's, I mean, from those places quite, I suppose, they know about my work because I've helped them write songs about their vision and values from a personal and professional space. So they've got these, cheerleading songs. So I feel that's a great way to invite. Maybe they'll ask all the women in their company to join, or maybe they'll pay for them. Who knows? I don't know. Um,
So we
you
have
can,
social media and
yeah,
reaching out
email.
to the companies that you've
Yeah,
worked
and
with
reaching out to the companies. Yeah.
by email. Okay. Any other avenues?
None that I can think of at the moment. I mean, I am working with someone who knows about funnels. That's not my area of expertise. So
So tell me,
yeah.
what's the price point of the course?
So the price point is 333 USD.
Okay.
So it's at a lower price point,
Okay.
but it's a downloadable course that you can keep forever.
Okay.
And then
Um,
I'll be doing
yeah.
other things to invite people to ongoing.
So if the goal is 1,000 people
Yeah.
to join the course, my biggest recommendation would be that we put together a solid affiliate plan.
Okay.
Solid affiliate plan. And this means it's going to be a season of doing a lot of personal reach outs
Yeah.
to people who have communities. And it could be people have big communities, people have small communities, doesn't matter. but you get together a huge list of all the people, you know, of all the people,
Okay.
you go through it, your email list, your phone, all your social media accounts, and make this huge list, right? You get organized
Okay.
about it, right? And we come up with a really clear, compelling vision of what they're getting to help contribute to and be part of. You know, the languaging gets really, give a lot of beautiful languaging. I mean, I just love like the cathedral of the heart and the, what was the other thing I wrote down? It was so beautiful. Dispel the myth that singing is just for the gifted. Occupy the true cathedral of your heart. Like these, I mean, your messaging is so gorgeous, and putting it probably something relevant, that it's something big, like this is the moment, you
Yeah.
know, this is the moment. The earth is like you know, we activate the hearts of people, and singing is one of the quickest routes in. It is what is so fundamentally human,
Yeah.
and I, you know, and share your vision,
Mm.
enroll them in your vision of what is possible, and let people know your goal.
Yeah.
Let people
I,
know your
I'll let
goal
people know.
of
Absolutely.
1,000. My goal is to reach 1,000 people. And you put that on social media too. And then you take people on the journey. I have got a great example for you. All right. One of my girlfriends, okay, Rachel Melinda, decided, I mean, she'd been a coach for years and then went to Burning Man and realized, no, actually, she's a DJ. And her life calling is to play electronic music and
Yeah.
gather women together in ceremony, dancing their faces off, right?
Right.
Sober, like just, and in 1 year, it is unbelievable what she has done. And we're doing right here.
Yeah.
She announced to she did a couple small events, like 35 people, 40 people. But then it was when she announced to everybody publicly, I am putting on a 500-person woman dance party, all sober
Mm.
women's dance party, because I believe this, and I'm going on the journey to do it. And then she took us all on the journey of social media to do it. And that's what social media is brilliant for, is following us
Mm.
on a journey to create something. That's why people will love to, it will build your following. People will
Mm.
love to follow your account on your journey to unleash the hearts and the voices of 1,000 people, 1,000
Mm.
women in
Mm.
January. And you start it, and you take people on that journey, and those people are going to want to share with you, share other people, right? While you're
Mm.
doing the affiliate work,
Mm.
right? And it builds of an energy. Every time you get 4 more people, you celebrate online. 4
Yeah.
more people. Here we are. Now we're up to 20 people.
Yeah.
Now we're up to 45 people. Now we're up to 170. Now we're up to this. And it's like you be in the celebration, you be in the authenticity of what
Mm.
it's taking for you to do this, what your inner process is, right?
Mm.
And I mean, it's going to also, you know, I mean, you could there's so many people who are going to be inspired by this. You already got a podcast, you know, invite here. Like people are going
Mm.
to be inspired by the movement, and they want to be part of the movement to unleash the hearts and voices, you know, of women through singing, and that's what we want to create, is a ripple of a movement, that it's more than a
Yeah.
course, that it's more than your message. This is a movement to do this, and you get people, take people with you on that, on your social media, and then um, you also do the affiliate outreach, you know, and that's going
Yeah.
to be when you get other people enrolled, excited, sharing for you. That's really that's where it's all gonna to really shift. And that's something, of course, you know, like I've done that a lot around all kinds of things. I
Mm.
think affiliate like relationships are how we grow quick. And
Yeah.
it's our superpower as women's relationship, you know,
Yeah.
and sharing a vision, inviting people into the vision. And so those are the two things. So my friend Rachel is like, yeah, I mean, not only did she do that 500-person event, now she does 500-person events every single weekend. She is
I love
flown
her.
all
That's
over.
right.
She is flown all over and gets
Mm.
media and all this in 1 year. And it's for doing
Wow.
this. You can follow her on Instagram.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's a
will.
good, inspiring person for you to touch into.
Sure.
Rachel Molenda, Molenda,
MOLENDA.
ENDA. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great.
those
Got
are
it.
the two things. I think it's great. You're going to send an email to these companies. Go for it. Try it.
Yeah.
But they get inundated with emails. What else can you do to get
Yeah.
creative about how you reach out to them to stand out? How else can you take that to another level of the uniqueness of the way that you reach out to them? Email is, they get
I
emails
know
all
what
the
I can do. Thank you for asking that question because it came to me straight away like a bolt of lightning. I can send them the songs that we're going to be doing because I write healing music. I mean, I'm a songwriter. I mean, essentially, I'm a singer-songwriter who has always believed that music can heal the world. And I moved into this work after, having my own voice. The moment where I couldn't sing because I'd had so much loss in my life, and in a very short period of time I had, avalanches everywhere, health, family loss, and so I stopped singing, and then I went and did drumming workshops all around Southeast Asia and the Middle East non-verbally, and realized during that realization of finding my beat of life again that I needed to really get back to singing because I was a total imposter as a drummer. And it was humiliating for
Oh my
me.
gosh, you have such a story. Yeah, you could
So,
send them your music. You could
yes,
you could send them a package that
yeah,
maybe like has some cool, amazing thing about it to the person that's the
yeah,
director of their, whatever the department is that manages the courses, that things that they invest in for their, you
yeah,
know,
HR,
their employee HR employee development office.
yeah,
You could come up with something really creative to stand out. That is,
mm,
I think that's, to do anything that to stand out, like go beyond an email,
okay,
go beyond even sending your music by email. Go
okay,
like send them a package with a little tape recorder and a tape in it, or an old DVD with a big old like bows and everything on it that says press listen, this is not a bomb. And I promise this will open. This is my vision for your company and every woman who's here. That's just like an idea, but something that is
mm,
so unique, you know,
mm,
and that really will have it stand out.
yeah,
Like if your goal is 1,000 people in a month and a half, no, two
yeah.
months, 2 months, we got
And
it.
that's just the first goal.
We got it. We gotta go gangbusters, girlfriend. We gotta
Yeah,
do
okay,
crazy stuff. This is the time
okay,
for the wild, crazy, not the normal. No emails.
okay,
We can send an email. We gotta follow it up with fireworks.
okay,
That's the energy that we want to bring in and go with it. So those are the three things: take people on the journey on social media, be devoted daily to
okay,
taking them on the journey, name the big goal and why, and just be honest and open and authentic about the journey to get there, and celebrate the celebrations along the way.
okay.
Affiliates is your
Affiliates.
gold ticket. Affiliates are your gold ticket. People to help
Yeah,
you share about it, right? You can give them a cut
yeah,
that is helpful, and get wild with these companies to make
yeah.
it stand out. Yeah, those are the three things. And you got this. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm so touched by
Me
your
too.
message around it all.
Yeah,
Really beautiful.
it's a calling.
Yeah, I
Mm,
feel it. I
mm,
think we all do here on this call. It is
thank you.
beautiful what's emerging from you. Made me cry. So beautiful what you're doing. You're so in what turns you on. You are
Yeah,
so in the thing. And we just combine that turn on with like epic strategies that stretch your edges and feel juicy and kind of scare you and make you turn on. And like those are the
yeah.
things to lean into.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
excited. Keep us posted.
I will.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing. Okay, we have a woman who was not able to come because wait a minute. Uh, Dorothy. So we have a client here who I'm going to respond to her question. She wrote in, she was not able to attend live because I think it was just too early for her where she lives in the world. So I'm going to respond to her question here. So Dorothy's question is, which is the best way to expand my reach while staying aligned with my values? Should I continue focusing on consistency through social media, publishing articles, and promoting my offerings through yoga studios, or is there a more effective strategy I haven't explored yet? So she says, I love the idea of creating a movement around her work, something that feels alive, magnetic, and meaningful. How can I build momentum and attract more visibility and engagement around it? Sometimes I feel that what I offer is similar to what others are doing. How do I differentiate myself and highlight what is unique about my work and approach? All right, so let's email tools don't feel authentic to her. Like traditional marketing tools like email funnels feel inauthentic. What alternative strategies could help me grow while staying true to my voice? She writes regularly for Elephant Journal, Tiny Buddha, and Medium, but they don't really bring in clients. Okay, so I'm going to start with these, Dorothy, because that's probably what we have time for. So, okay, we want to find it. So I think one of the first baseline questions is, Dorothy, how do you express yourself that feels like a really natural flow for you, right? Like, is it writing? Sounds like you're a writer. If you're writing for Elephant Journal and Tiny Buddha and Medium, like your writing is your thing, right? It sounds like you also it's really a value for you to be doing what feels really aligned for you. Um, and you want to stay aligned with your values. Okay. So let's talk about how to create a movement around your work. Okay. So first of all, some of it is languaging. All right. Some of it is languaging. Some of it is, I would want to coach you in getting really clear on what you believe. What is it that you believe? That is at the heart of your work, why you do it. What is it that you believe that is really about what it makes possible for people and why that matters to you so much, right? That is number one. What do you believe? What does your work make possible? Why does that matter to you so much? That those are languaging that people begin to really connect around in a more like they can find themselves in that imaging, what you believe, why it matters to you, what you believe is possible for people in in doing your work. But it's not the languaging about your work. It's broader level. It's more expansive. It's like the microcosm is like talking about your specific work. The macrocosm is your visionary self, what you see as possible, your why it matters to you. Paint the picture for us of what you see as possible through um, doing your work. So I actually think I need to know more about what your work is. And you didn't write in here clearly to me unless I'm missing. I don't think so. I'm reading this. Like, I don't know what your offerings are. So I think that is something that is important to know. But regardless of what your offerings are, this type of languaging and making that part of how you speak is so important. And writing is a great tool. I think though that there's no real back and forth community element in writing in these online publications. There's no back and forth, people having the opportunity to dialogue with you in real time. Like there's no community sense. That's why social media is so powerful as people go to, find a way to connect or sometimes to numb out, but to also connect. And so I think that I would be curious what you're posting regularly. I would want to know more about what are you posting regularly in social media and being consistent. What's happening there? Is it alive? Is it filled with your passion? Is it filled with the languaging of what you believe is possible? What your stand is for this world? What your vision is for this world? What are the things in this world that are getting in the way of this vision and how can we transform it? Like we need to feel your passion. If you want to create a movement, you got to be passionate about what you're doing and be willing to get out there and spokeswoman it. And that's where I would want to know more about what are you posting consistently on social media and does it have that energy? That's number one. Number two is, since you're a writer, what are the stories that you can tell that are really authentic, that have led to genuine insights, genuine transformation? We think about it as parables, right? Like, what is a story that you can tell about you that is so real and that really provides a strong insight or shift in perspective that is a gift. It's the gift of the piece of the writing. And that may be already how you write, but I would encourage you to be more willing to share that on social media and maybe you already are. That's why it's hard without you here to dialogue on this. But, but if, I don't know the type of writing you're doing on Elephant Journal and this other pieces. I think if maybe you took some of those writings and you really put them on social media, if you're not already, that could create a different experience for you. But here's the thing, you got to have a place for people to come. And again, I sometimes I feel so worried because you're not here. I'm like telling you things you may already know, but I'm just going to have to take those assumptions. That we need a place to catch people. Like a funnel is not a bad thing. It's not inauthentic. Like, I'm so curious your beliefs about what makes a funnel inauthentic. It's like saying a car is inauthentic. It's like saying you know, riding a bike is inauthentic. It takes you where you want to go. And so I think there's some beliefs around this that would be interesting to dive into and see if like they're really true. And like what are the values that you think a funnel goes against? And it's really the like we have to have a place to help people. It's so important. And when you're doing your writings online, I guess one of my questions is are you inviting them to opt in to something that they can get more information from you? Like, I teach about writing a tiny ebook that has been a game changer for my business and a lot of my clients, right? You can do it, paid ads to it, or you can do it as a free opt-in online, and it takes them in closer to you. It brings them in out of that world in the sea of social media. It brings them closer into your world of care. And then you can talk to them through email and use your beautiful writing skills, right? And invite them into possibilities for themselves. And that could be whatever workshops you teach, whatever your offers are. Again, this may be things you already know, but I think that what I hear here, there's some mindset around funnels that is maybe like could be getting in the way. And if writing is your jam and those places where you're sharing your writings are not feeling fruitful, I would say, I'd be curious to see one of your pieces, but I think that if you were to share it on social media and end with something that's really of value and then invite people into the possibility of something for more or to learn my, like 4 ways that I help people X, comment whatever the word is below. And you can use ManyChat. That's a really easy way to, streamline that for you. Or you can just have them send you a DM or a comment. You respond to them and send it if that's something you would prefer. And then they come into your email, and then you can create ways of supporting them and guiding them into things that may be of deeper service to them in your offers in your email. That would be the thing that I would want to really look at. What opt-ins do you have? Like, do you have any opt-ins? Do you have opt-ins for when you write on Elephant Journal and ManyChat and Medium? Like, do you have like free things that you're giving them that are actually what they need? Like it's really dialed in, like what's going to actually move the needle for them or what's actually going to serve them and make a huge difference. Like it's really connected to that need or that desire, right? And languaged in a way that meets there. That would be one of the biggest things I would say is we need to look at like, first of all, it could be that people just don't have any place to go if you don't have any opt-ins. But the second one is that I think creating some really targeted opt-ins and using your gift as a writer would be really amazing to support you in bringing in more people with ease into your business. And that would be a piece, if you don't have that, that I would say is super important. I think if you're writing, like that's what I'm seeing here, consistency through social media and publishing articles. What I don't know about that is like how much of that is like really taking people to something of value for them in an opt-in that gets into your email list. I'm not clear from reading that if you have that or not. And that would be a really important piece, I think, for me to then coach you to the next thing. But that would be a really big thing that could change that whole thing. Like it made like make the strategy like completely amazing once you have that, right? But you can also take your writings and work on ways. This is actually also connected to Susie, who was here speaking earlier. Like, how can you take your writings and repurpose them in certain ways? And you can do that yourself, or you can hire somebody to help you do it. I have like a brilliant woman in the Philippines who helps me with things, and she's amazing and helps me, speaks amazing English, helps me take it and put it into different forms. You can repurpose it to share it on social media. If you've got a great piece of writing, how can you repurpose it to share it on different platforms, share that same value, and drive people to some kind of opt-in so they can get some deeper support and build your email list, and then you invite them into your offers from there. So that's my coaching for the moment. I know there was more things that you wrote, but I think that that's the first piece, and there's some holes there. So if you're able to come on to the next VIP call, it'd be great to have you so we can understand some more pieces that are going to help provide, like, I think more dialed in specific coaching for you on what's the next piece. But those are my sense for right now of my responses to support you and how to, really question the belief system around funnels, right? And I think it's more about taking a funnel and adapting it to your values, like a car. Like I may not want to buy a gas guzzler. That's against my values, but I'm still going to, like, I live in the society. Like that's how I get from here to there. So I'm going to buy an electric car or a hybrid car, something like that, because it's aligned in my values. You can make your funnel aligned with your values, but don't abandon the funnel, right? Like if you're going to be doing business, doing internet marketing, you're going to need a funnel, period. Right? Like I really believe that's true. So those are my pieces. I hope that that's a helpful start, right? To at least give some nuggets to think about. And hopefully you can come to the next call. Would love to have you. Okay. Wow. That was a deep dive. Woo. Thank you all for being here. So good to be with you. We got another call. When is it? Hang on. I got to look at my calendar. Calendar. Wednesday the 19th, 9 a.m. Pacific. Now that's kind of brutal for you Australia ladies. 9 a.m. Pacific. And just a couple of, I'm actually going to have to hop off. I'll have to save these reminders another time. But it was wonderful having you all here. Thank you for being here. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Bye, everybody.